Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Hayson here with everything going on and impacting Sydney's property market this week. Well, as expected, the cash rate was left on hold at 4.35% during the week, but its headline inflation, which has lowered from 3.5% in June down to 2.7% in August. Now that's a 3-year low. Now headline inflation is also now within the RBA's magical target band of 2 to 3%. Now rates, they are being cut globally, right across central banks in the US, Canada, China, right across the EU, Britain and New Zealand. But here locally, well, our Governor, Michelle Bullock, has ruled out any near-term relief in Australia. Now, it's very interesting watching this arm wrestle on rate relief between the Labor Party and the RBA, which is continuing. ALP National President and former Treasurer Wayne Swan claiming the RBA was punching itself in the face, holding rates steady. But Miss Bullock, she said inflation remains still too high, with underlying inflation, the RBA's preferred measurement tool, needing to be sustainably moving towards that target band of 2 to 3%. Now, Dr. Chalmers, he's argued that Labor was helping to get cost of living pressures under control, with billions of dollars being spent in electricity rebates. But the RBA, they believe this is merely a sugar hit, and when these roll off, inflation will climb again in 2025. It is expected that electricity bills could surge forward by up to 47% next year when these government subsidies do end. Now, despite this hardline approach from the RBA, traders, they're not so convinced, and they are now betting a 76% chance of a cash rate cut in December. Now, in other news, the Valuer General, Sally Dale, says that New South Wales property values will flatline in 2024. Now, any homeowner would be very much aware that land values have surged forward in recent years, and in many cases that we're seeing, they're now sitting well above where true market value is sitting. Ms. Dale has suggested that we're starting to see things come off, and there is supply coming onto the market this spring, and people are certainly feeling the pinch with higher interest rates. Now, feeling the pinch is very much true, because last week's final auction clearance rate in Sydney was sitting at 45.5%. Pretty good volumes as well, 1,403 scheduled properties. Now, just 306 of those sold under the hammer, representing just 22% of that volume. 333, well, they sold prior to auction, again, circa 24% of that volume. And then finally this week, well, school holidays are kicking off. That's good and bad news for some parents, but it will mean there might be a little bit of a pause in new listings coming to market. Realistically, in our view though, there are just 7 weeks remaining to list and sell in 2024. And many sellers are starting to weigh up whether or not they pull the trigger now or they wait until Q1 in 2025 to make a selling decision. Now, rates, they are expected to be cut in February, and Managing Director of SQM Research, Louis Christopher, has noted some pretty interesting points right now about the market. Sydney and Melbourne, they've moved and swung into that more slight buyer's market. We've been reporting on that for quite a while, and sellers, they have become more negotiable, and buyers will look at this as a nice window until we see a cut in interest rates. But when that cut in interest rates do come, Mr. Christopher is quite confident that the market will bounce once we see that occur, maybe in the first quarter of next year. So, breaking down all of these market conditions, if you are looking to purchase, right now is a great window. Balanced conditions, sellers are willing to negotiate on price and also their terms. You're seeing less competition in the market, and you've got more time to consider making an offer. Also, there's more time, and we're seeing this a lot, to explore wider regions. It's about as good as buying conditions do get in Sydney, so pay attention to what is available. So, that leads us into this weekend, folks. We've got some amazing properties coming to market and some great properties also going under the hammer. Our entire team looks forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next week.